Pigments. Bit good, isn't it? Long story short, I was supposed to be doing the new synth that Arturia have put out and covering that. But on like release day, it basically, the license wouldn't work. And for some reason, my rep or whatever decided to add a bunch of other stuff to my account. And I don't know why entirely. I don't know if it was a sorry or just, here you go, have everything because you can't do this. So I started playing around with pigments and yeah, it's good fun. It's good fun. So all I've made so far is this. Which, yeah, kind of tasty. But I noticed some similarities right away that it is very, very, very like Serum in its overall like layout and setup. And the way it works, but it's got some things about it that are way, way better. If you've got any questions, by the way, or I'm stupid and you know more about this than me and you want to show me something, throw it in the comments. I will be checking them periodically, but I'm not a streamer. I've only got one screen, so I have to check the comments every now and then when I remember. So yeah, I literally just threw this together this morning. Just playing about with this synth idea. I started it off with a preset, one of Venus Theory's presets. So sorry, Cameron, I've completely ripped your stuff off. Although the only thing left really that Cameron put in was, I think it's that function, and even that I've changed. So I was gonna have a play about, see what we can do with it. Look at the custom wavetable movement, try and do a patch from scratch. In here I've got like a Dusty Mooger sample from me, which we've moved around, and that's what's doing that wobbly sound. Yeah, I'm liking it, right? I mean, even that right there, just double these drums up, you could get a second like rhythm out of that patch without a shadow of a doubt. Why can't I not just close window? So we could literally just do something like, literally the triplet pattern. The triplet pattern would work, so we could literally do that like a second. Yeah, it's so versatile. The fact that we've built like this crazy moving about patch, immediately go and do that. Bring that back up to the F sharp, right? And then potentially have like a real low note here. Do the same thing again. Of course, I made it legato, it should up and down it. Wait, it's like the easiest thing to build sounds with ever. I'm loving it. Where are we? Who's there? Morning, Robert. Basically live streamed by accident twice. Well, do you know what, mate? I'm happy you're here twice. I'm just learning PC music production. Can I ask a question about stuff I work? Yeah, do mate. While these streams are empty like this, like I did the Logic Pro 11 launch with 7,000 people, I couldn't do questions. When I do little random streams like this, because I've not got any work to do this morning, yeah, mate, ask questions all the time. Was it you last time that sent me off on a tangent and we opened like 20 random old projects? Hey, this thing's just too easy to work with. Literally too easy. Even like do things well out of key, I reckon. Right. Anyway, let's mute that. Get a fresh instance up. See if we can play around with making some new ideas. Oh. Processing off pigments. This is how fresh I am. I don't even know how to initialize it. I haven't got a clue. There. Plugins yellow. What about if we search for init? Not uninitialize there. Can I initialize it from there? Nope. Okay, no idea how to initialize it. I might have to start from a preset. Or am I being blind? Save preset. Save, import, export, resize theme. There's okay. Oh, new preset. Wait, looking for initialize. Okay, so what's that going to give us? Okay, we've got the ARP left on. Cool beans. All right, that just starts us out with that. Oh, okay, starting out wavetable, really simple. Sine, almost triangle, saw, square. Cool. So, what waveforms have they got? Oh wow, a horrendously complex amount. What's polyharmonic? Righto. So we take you down octave. Make like a yo-yo bass really quickly with that, I reckon. Went from lo-fi to D&B. Nice. Oh yes, okay. So like, what are you starting to learn? Like if you picked up a DAW, if you grabbed GarageBand or something like that, and you're just starting to make your own ideas? So how do we link? I think I can literally grab an LFO. Can I just drag to a sign? I can, so I can just drop that over there. Oh, so on LFO1, rate in hertz. If I click on hertz, I'm assuming I can sync. Yeah. All right, so filter wise, we got something that could give us that like yo-yo. Oh wow, okay, so the filter types are comprehensive as well. That's pretty awesome. Okay, so so we've only got the like low passes of them. So multi-mode, that gives us a whole bunch of others. And pass. Okay. You have FL Studio. You used to play guitar and bass years ago, so you got probably more musical knowledge than me, to be honest. I started out in like radio production and doing mastering, all the technical side of it. Yeah. So, yeah, getting lost in everything and like how vast it is. Keep it simple. Like it's as simple as that, right? Have the thing that you want to do, and if that is just make a kick drum, figure out how to get just that task done and don't get lost in all the other minutia. There's a lot to learn if you want to produce your own electronic music at the end of the day. And just, well, the fact is we got YouTube now. Like I had to learn the hard way of trial and error and asking people that didn't want to tell you. So we've got all those options, but yeah, focus on the one thing that you want to pick up at that time. Morning, Cube. I am all good, sir. All good. Well, bit of a sore throat, but I'm not going to be that Nesh person who whinges on YouTube. Excuse me, I've got a cold. Be nice to me. Yeah, the other thing, Robert, like I think I said this last time, I'm pretty sure it was you, like, I showed you I've got hundreds and hundreds of scrap tracks where I've come up with an idea, I've put something together, got something out of it, but it's still a scrap track. Like, don't be afraid to like experiment and come out with those ideas and put them together and potentially just bin them. Eventually, you'll be able to like have an idea of what you want to create and get to it and pick up a completely random synth like this and have some kind of scope of what you're doing and where you're going. Eventually, it might take you a year, it might take you 6 months. Pigments does seem to be awesome. You are not wrong. This is literally, I played with it this morning and built that bass line that I played a minute ago, this thing here. Off of Venus Theory preset. And now I'm just trying to go from scratch and just like build up an idea. And I've got lost in the fact that there's like 1,000,001 filter options. And we can make yo yo sounds again. Notch it. Wider notch. 6 might be a bit much, but that's all right. Right, with that random setup, I'm going to get another LFO onto that filter and move it a bit. So LFL2, Hertz, sync, I don't know, 1/8. I said sync. 1/8 on that. I'm just going to flip through some of... There, I want to dial that back a bit. I love the fact you hover over a control and it comes up with everything linked to it. I can just like dial it back without having to go into a grid. It's so good. Alright, so that's giving it some like wobble and gnarly old texture. Alright, let's use the other wavetable. Oh my god, which is on sample. I didn't even know you could put samples in here. I literally, I know nothing about this. I've literally just opened it up and wanted to have a play in like real time. Holy shit. Okay. So I can just do like an analog oscillator. Oh my god, it's got 3 oscillators. What the hell? This is better than Serum. That's it, hands down. It is genuinely better than Serum. What the hell? It's so good. I can see myself getting lost in this for the whole stream. I was going to do 3 different topics, but... Okay. So if I want that to be assigned, that's the then volume. Okay, so it's set up like a Moog oscillator. Roger. So I can do that to make it a sub. What happens if I sync it? Ah! Okay. Oh my god, that's so good. Okay. I'm gonna learn. Have you got pigments? I mean, like, this is the most excited I've been by a synth since Hive came out. I love Hive. It's one of my favorite synths, without shadow of a doubt. You realise back in the day, bands like Motorhead, The Cure released albums recorded on 16 tracks with guitars. Panda opposite tracks. Yeah, yeah, man. Is it? I think it's All Along the Watchtower is an 8-track. Listen to that track and like, how? Like, yeah, it's absolutely phenomenal. But the difference is, if you've never watched the documentary The Defiant Ones with Jimmy Iovine, like Tom Petty, Dr. Dre, etc., Bono from U2, it's got Jimmy Iovine and Bono explaining that they had a whole week just to set up the drums to then record them. Imagine having 5 days just to get the drum sounding right before you start recording the tracks. And then they did so many takes of the tracks that they wore out the tape and had to redo the tape over and over and over. Nowadays, I have to get a track from an idea to conception to send off to the client in like an 8-hour period. It's just a different world in the way things are done. This is why I found you on stream. And yeah, exactly. The Defiant ones. It's a long documentary. I think it's about 4 hours over 4 parts. Might be on Netflix at this point. Give it a watch. It's fairly old at this point, but probably one of the best documentaries you can watch for like how to, or what it used to take in the music industry and how things go. It's awesome. Time is sped up, kind of, and more coffee. I wouldn't say more coffee. When I worked in radio, holy crap, there was a coffee machine in every room. I don't drink coffee. This is currently peppermint tea. Anyway, I'm digressing. I'll do that a lot. You may have noticed. Let's see what we can build out of this. So, still having attention span, so I should be okay. That is the thing with the somewhat older people. Not to put myself and you in that older generation, but the reason I don't do well with YouTube Shorts. So, right, I want to like take the top end of that away, but I want to keep this filter thing going. So if I put filter 2 on, that does the job for me. That was easy. Oh, and there's the filter routing. So it currently goes filter 1 into filter 2 with a sum. Perfect. This thing just does what you want it to do, like immediately. Alright, so it's currently playing poly 8. I want legato, so... Right, the overall like playback, I want to adjust that. Release, where do I do that? Play? No, so that's like quick pointers. Okay. Keyboard. Envelopes. Got to be envelopes. Got to be this VCA here, right? Gotta be. Hey. Okay. Oh, and release. Literally. What if we can have another oscillator lower down? So we'd have to give that a load of volume. We'd have to switch that to that and drop that down 24 semitones. Thick and tasty. We'd dial that back about 6 dB. Better than, do you know what? It's better than Serum. It is. It doesn't alias. It's got more functionality. The routing's smarter, and it's sizable. Serum, if I remember rightly, I haven't opened it for a while, shows up friggin' tiny on like a 5K display. Dude, when you finish the stream, watch this video. It won't let you post any links, but throw me a comment below the video with the title of the video and I'll be able to find it that way. But due to the crypto bots and all the other crap, I had to turn link posting off, full stop, because you just get spammed with a horrendous amount of content. You don't modulate much more traditional sounds. I mean, if you want traditional sounds, Serum's still not the thing to go for. You want like the classic subtractive synths, or if you like some of the classic emulations. By the way, is my camera over the synth? It is not. Sweet. Look, I'm getting professional at this streaming lock. It's a bit squelchy, but let's see what we can do with effects. What's on by default? I don't really want a delay, so what else can I put in? How do I even get my effects? Okay, that lets me move it. Am I stuck with those effects in that section? Effects A? Shouldn't be, right? Oh, there, drop down. Hey. So give me some distortion. Hey. All right, so we want that to happen over time, so it goes like. So we could do that using envelope 2, which I can just drag and drop. Wicked. Oh, but we want it to go the other way. We want it to go up. Oh no, I can do that and full sustain. Cool, and attack. That do. Okay. Mono. Roger. Be nice if you could do the attack synced, but we'll take it. We're at 175, so I want to say 18 milliseconds is 1/16. Means 32. No, 32 will be a 16th, that'll be a 64th. If that's there, that's there. The reverb shows up there. Yeah, I like this. So if I want to go to the next effects part, I can just choose that. That's so much better as well. Like this. Glam, soft, expanse, rack extensions for Reason. Oh, okay. I've not used Reason for a long time. It was still Reason 3 last time I used it. The Propellerhead guys have reached out a couple of times and said like, hey, do you want to try it and do it on the channel and whatnot? And I just haven't got time to learn another DAW. Same thing I did with Ableton. Ableton invited me over to Berlin and whatnot in like 2018. I tried out, I guess it was probably live 7 or 8 then, I don't remember. I just couldn't get my head around it, haven't got time, too busy earning money. Reason is fantastic. Reason taught me about rack workflow and rerouting and all of that in a digital way, because I could flip the rack over and mix different things up and try it and see what it does. Which meant when I came to like analog synthesis and routing, I understood what all those things meant and what they were going to do. Very good. Yeah, the downside when I used to use it was you could never put any VSTs in, and it was always restricted to like this much of the friggin' screen because it was the rack unit. You couldn't even open up the MIDI editor. It was a tiny little thing at the bottom of the rack. Looks loads better now because they've done that whole SSL mixer rack, and you can open up the separate MIDI windows, and I believe you can put VSTs in now. I say I'm out of the loop. Yeah, awesome tool. I remember it being incredibly stable as well. Like I don't think Reason ever crashed when you were just using its stock built-in stuff. Okay, so we've got a reverb on this. Dry wet. Roger, that was a bit much. If I can give this like a big size. Alright, that's kind of sick. Free delay 0. Alright, so I want to use the same envelope here, but make it pull the wet dry back. Let's see if we can figure out how to do that. So onto there. That makes it go up. So surely this is bipolar and that'll do that. So friggin' simple. There you go, and that gives us just the reverb on the release instead of having a release. Bit shit in the top end, but around this range. That's a good little grind bass. message retracted. I don't know if that automatically caught you because it was a link or something, but yeah. It supports everything but okay, cool. I mean, if I was using it in version 3, that must have been 2005 maybe. So a long time ago. It came on 3 DVDs. I can't remember the last time something came on a DVD. I think it was Machine 1, which is, I don't know, in this room somewhere. Yeah, all right, I like that. Let's try and make a little melody with it. What do we think? Literally just gonna play around with like a rhythm idea instead. Stop doing that. Yeah. This is so easy to program. I already can't remember how I saved my preset last time. There it is. Save preset as, what should we call this? Super original, we'll call it grind bass. Author. Bank. User. Type. Bass. Hard bass. Sure. Dubstep. Grime. That makes sense. That'll do. Save. Alright, what else can we do with this thing? How did we reset that one? New preset. Those. What I was going to do was go over the sample pack, Soulful D&B, which is why I put these breaks in here. This is from the new sample pack. Woo! Lots and lots of effort went in. It took me most of this year working on it weekly. But I'm going to have too much fun with this. So, new sound, Pigment, reset. Most normies shit on Reason and Logic. I mean, yeah. That all the people moaning about Logic are people who only want to record their bands at the end of the day. Like, why have you added all of these things for people to make music with? I want better audio editing. Like, if that's really what you want, it's really an issue. Go and pay the 900 fucking quid for Cubase. The copy of Recycle on CD. Yeah, Recycle. I used to have to use Recycle back when we were, like, it would have been like 2005 era in the radio station before Adobe bought Cool Edit Pro and made it Adobe Audition. Used Recycle to like loop and cut bits out. It was basically the audio editor for a bit. Any tips on good D&B drum kits? You can make any kit a D&B drum kit. The thing is, the sounds need to be quick, sharp, and snappy because you're at such a quick BPM. And often, because the tracks are so busy, you'll need to make sure that things sit in key. Yeah, let me show you something. I know we're supposed to be doing pigments. But like I said, when I don't have 7,000 people on the stream, which was insane, I prefer these little like peaceful streams. Right, tell you what, I will grab something that's not intended as like a D&B kit. I think I did this when I did the complete stream. So if we grab Contactate, Stereo, Create. There's Empire Breaks, which is all set up to be at like 80 odd BPM for the most part. Where are you? There. Yeah, like that'll do, right? Definitely not designed to be a D&B kit, but let's grab it and I'll show you a point in principle of just a couple of changes. Oh, so where are we? Oh, that's all right. So figure out what pattern that is. If I go over here into patterns, I assume that one there. I'm straight up cheating here because I'm going to steal the MIDI from this pattern and drop it into here. Yay. I did a video literally the other week. If you don't get like the D&B drum patterns of 3 different stages to get to it, I'm not saying I'd be able to cover now. Just going to steal that MIDI. But it's okay as a D&B break, right? One thing, it's super rigid, and there's some big long sounds that would work at, what was it intended for, 97 BPM. But they roll out and start blurring over each other in this, yeah? Just too much. So if we go into the individual sounds, like a crash, is it that one? Yeah, that right there, that clap. It's massive and goes on forever. So we take that. We can literally just adjust it to how we want it to be. So switch this on. Give it like no sustain. Okay. Oh, way shorter. Oh, that's not drowning out over the whole thing now. Now the other thing, let's just take this random little bassline thing we did a minute ago with that patch we made. Back on, let's move them over here. Okay, so immediately you can hear we got loads of bass. Not the best bass sound in the world, but it was an idea that we put together, right? The kick's already fighting with it straight away. And if we have a look at the drum kit, if I put Pro Q on, that will help us out. All this big flabby weight down here, right? On the D&B drum kit, you're generally gonna get rid of all of that because you want your sub to be down there. You can do something like that. The other thing is, let's say, what did I do this in? Was that F? I want to say it was F, right? F sharp. All right. So where's our kick hitting? Let's grab like an F sharp. Our kick is up here. We want it to be sitting in line with the bass so it harmonizes and sits with it rather than fighting it all the time. That way when we do duck it, they're always going to be coming in and out of the same note, not battling one another, right? And we can probably see it as well if I put I've got a Pro Q on there. If I just switch it on and we disable that, in here your ints untitled, that one. Right, we can see the battle going on, right? Harmonic, harmonic. Our kick's sitting in between the two harmonics, like at a place. We'd have to work on doing something with that so that fits in a bit better. It's also a bit of a big fat flabby kick. I would think maybe do a similar thing. Maybe even instead of having them layered, beside the one we like, cut out that one that's got all that weird mid-tone in and just have this guy. Have a look at where that's hitting. Yeah. Essentially, I don't want to load that. I want to pitch it down. Where is it hitting? Let me have a look again. Probably got to come down about 4 semitones in total. Yeah. That's not perfect. That's better. You hear that difference, right? It's no longer fighting. It's now harmonizing with this harmonic. We're sitting in the right spot. I said it's still a bit big and long and flabby, so we would cut that back as well. More like that. That's without looking at the fact that it's super rigid. We've got these double kick patterns that would probably bin off the double kick and just go off from that little roll out and just go like this. Yeah, kind of getting there. Then we need to give it some kind of push-pull movement. So we can take the whole thing, can probably use 16ths, looking at those hi-hats. Give that a bit of swing. That. Those are the hi-hats, right? That's the snare. Roger. Oops. In which case we might have to go 4. No, not getting me what I want either. Eighths are going to be way too much. So we could swing the hats and kicks together. I usually separate the channels out. Something like that. That's a bit drastic, but that's more D&B groove factor, right? Great. So there was a random tangent for you. Now I've not read any of my comments. Morning cold. I will have a quick read through these. Where are we? Reasonable. Yeah, that's where we were. Schwacker's D&B sample pack. Yeah, that's a good sample pack, to be fair. It depends what kind of drums you want, but yeah, you can any drum plugin you can go. Like sample pack wise, I've collected thousands over the years. Oh, this sounds great. The Empire Breaks is a wicked sounding kit. It just takes a bit of work to get it in the direction you want. So yeah, Cole, good morning. Having to watch where you cook dinner. Yeah, I suppose that would. Yeah, it's going to be. Well, surely that's a bit late for you, right? Not like 9 p.m. Just because I'm in bed by then, to be fair. Drop that nasty 808 at the beginning of the beat. Nasty 808 at the beginning? I don't know what you mean. Maybe I did, and that was all the horrible harmonic thing we could hear. Anyway, supposed to be doing pigments, although we can do whatever we want at the end of the day. Did we even start a new patch? Kind of. We have a patch that we haven't done anything with. There. You're distorting. Weird. It's just really horrible phase. I mean, to be fair, I've not even like flipped through that many of the presets. See, I was looking for initialize. I should have been looking for default. Lesson learned. Whoa. Okay. Demonic lead. Not that demonic once you use the legato. We do that though. That poker face then. All right. Whoa. Okay. I have put a limiter on. So I might have blown someone's ears out then. Okay. I need to understand how this works. So there's some kind of keyboard split, so the low end does that, and then at a certain point that's friggin' sick. Yeah, I'm loving this synth, guys. I'm not gonna lie. I actually thought it was just a wavetable synth, but the fact we've got everything, basically. This is like, it's like alchemy meets serum. So how the hell does this work? They're like a key split? Yeah. Right. That just looks normal. That's velocity. It's not velocity based. Have no aftertouch on this keyboard. Wait. Oh, have I done that? Okay. Not that. Wait, what's the difference between these two windows? No idea. I should probably read the manual rather than just coming on here and learn, but this is genuinely how I learn stuff. Okay, combinate seems like it could be. What I'm looking at, right? If anyone actually knows it better than I do, how the hell are we doing this key split? Hey Dennis, hope all is good, man. Alchemy doesn't technically have a wavetable engine, but you can kind of get it to work that way. In its like sample engine, you can basically get it to move around through the sample. It's not strictly wavetable. Well, I said it's like Serum meets Alchemy. Alchemy's by far the most powerful synth I've known until this. I want to know how this key split works. I can't figure it out. Ability, not in there. I figured it'd be something to do with this, but they all look like they're on default, apart from this combinate one remap. Set the type of combinate. Source keyboard. Okay. All right, that's had an effect on it, so it's something to do with this. You still use the Camel audio version? Damn. Apple have improved it a fair bit, but it was stupid powerful then anyway. And if you don't have Logic, sort of the only way to go. It's just a shame it's so hard to get hold of any of those tools now. You have to get like a legacy version, and installers and whatnot don't work. Right, someone tell me how this key split works, because I do not understand how this patch works. It's so good. Right, so it's obviously legato, so it's gliding up. It completely changes the sound overall. So it's got to have something linked, right? It's got to be this combinate changing what? Can you see what it's linked to? If I... Well, that makes no sense, because if I take it off, it doesn't do anything. Take all of this down, what happens? Hey, too many points. Right, so it's definitely that. Oh, friggin' cool. Is there a way to just see everything that's assigned to? Like a sign, does it show me? Filter cutoff. It can't be. Oh, I get it. I get it. Okay, cool. So, oh, is it just the filter cutoff here? I get it. So depending on where you press on the keyboard. Yeah, cool. It's opening up that filter. Ah, so that's super useful. You can just set that however you want. Can you add more points? Oh my god. So. That's disgustingly good. Yeah, you know what, Robert? When I opened it, it was like, would you like to be guided round? I was like, no, I want to play with stuff. And yeah, then I couldn't figure out where the guide thing was. I mean, there's tutorials here, but for the sake of a stream, reading through tutorials ain't no fun, is it? It's light bulb thing? No, it just tells you info on it, on that. Sound design tips, show tips. Yeah, show tips was on. Anyways, comes up at the bottom. Just select type 1 of the thing to combine. But we figured it out. So basically this left to right is, you know, my low keys to my high keys. And then the placing on that grid is respective of where the filter goes. Yeah, so you can see the cutoff up here pumps up. That's such a good sound. Oh, we can mark favorites. That's marked for later. Right. That's all right, but not as fun. Okay. We do nice big pads as well. All right. What the hell? Okay, I've got like a pop-up thing that says viewers may see ads at different times to maximize revenue. But I don't think this is monetized. But if you do start getting ads, let me know and I'll see if I can turn it off. I've never bothered monetizing my live streams ever. Not just 3 oscillators though, Tom. Not just 3 oscillators. So in the wavetable over here, let's just do a new preset. So I can either go wavetable, analog with 3 oscillators. I can switch on the other one and have sample, analog with another 3 oscillators, wavetable, sample, or harmonic. Shape A and to a comb. Well, that don't work. Oh, it does. But then there's also a utility engine. So I've got the noise out, and another oscillator. So I can do the sub oscillator like in Serum. Which, that's kind of crazy that you can mix it up that much. I had no idea. I genuinely thought it was just 2 wavetables and the utility, which is very Serum, right? But the fact you can mix up the whole thing is crazy. Or you pommy knob. I've not been called a pom for a long time. Yeah, it's crazy how much is actually in this. And the routing is so much better than Serum. And the effects rack as well. At first, it looks like you've just got like these 3 racks, but you've got 3 separate racks, each able to have their own individual inputs with probably about the same effects overall. They look to be roughly the same as Serum, right? But because they're on 3 separate racks, they've all got their own separate mix. So I can send one oscillator to one rack and another oscillator to another rack. But then I can also have like insert A and B, B, A, or A/B, so they work separately, and an aux. So if I wanted to send the sub out clean, I can do that, and everything else into 2 different effects chains, I can do that. Which is also very, very nice. Overly complex, but sound design wise, you're basically limitless. Case in point for the effects, like the effects chain in this is ridiculous. Switch A and B to BA. Completely different, like tone. Split the 2 up. Yeah. There's that demonic lead again. Let's skip ahead a bit. No. No thanks. Go away. That. Okay, that's nice. Like a little digital effects generator. That's super clever. How's that done? Right, okay. Maybe someday Serum 2 will drop. Like, it's been rumored that Steve's been working on it for like 4 years, but who knows? I am using a Mac Studio, which is a £10,000 machine, and you do not need that for music production. Honestly, you can make music on a potato. In the corner that way there is a 2017 iMac with an i7 that I produced music on for years and years. Because of the work I do now, I just needed this machine. That's so clever. So talking about it being more advanced than Serum, again, I thought this was like you just bash one sample in. There's a whole series of samples loaded, and then they're chopped and manipulated to play certain segments of each sample as well. That's super clever. Like, that's wild. And that's so clever that you can do that in this. Yes, I get we're listening to bleeps and bloops, but that's insane. Right, let's keep going through. 100 instances of pigments possible? Yeah, probably. As long as they split across CPU. You'll see it in a minute, like when I press a bunch of keys on here, right? My CPU says it's at like 30%. But the problem is, Logic only sees one of the 12 cores. I don't know if you can even see. Yeah, cores show up there. Yeah, you can. Yeah, we'll find a relatively heavy preset. There you go. One note of that takes 10%. Mute these. Helpful if I recorded that spot. Hey, stick you over there. Just added like 40 pigments. And that all uses 10% each time. 10% of one core, that is, though. Bad math off by. That. Make our out ceiling. Oh, we can't do that. Should turn the main fader down to like -80. There you go. So now they're all kind of bubbling on the core performance. But yeah, there you go. That's all of those playing at once. Not even using 25%. This also doesn't show all my cores. I can't open up Activity Monitor because I'm linked to Logic for the screen share, but yeah, it's not even all the cores. Doesn't really touch it. But you got to remember that basically for a living, I do video production as well, outside of music or music production, video, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, well, cool, Tom. No worries, man. It's the M2 Ultra Mac Studio. So I think the M3s are on the way or already out. I don't follow Apple ever since I left them. Yeah, proof that I used to work for Apple. There you go. Can't get those anywhere else. What were we doing? Yeah, I was going through some presets. Where are you? You only see Logic on your screen, but I've got a bunch of other things overlaid, like the chat and whatnot. As long as it don't freeze. Why can't we hear you? Papa, can you hear me? Apparently not. No longer want to play. Well, we broke it. That's because I've got no volume. Duh. No, it isn't playing. Interesting. Well, I can do that. I just can't play on the keyboard for some reason. There you go. So we can play back all those instances, but apparently that will screw up your keyboard. Cool. Yeah, not interested in that. Know how that's done. Oh, that might be the most boring sound we found. Oh, you can't give us that really interesting looking waveform and then just that. Let's just give something like envelope. Well, actually, let's have a look at the functions. So let's put a function onto position. Okay. All right, so functions give you a whole set of other things. So you can have another 3 LFOs if you want, or another 3 envelopes. That's super useful as well. Try and do what we would do in like Serum and analog it up a bit, right? So utility engine, empty. How do you work? Right, okay. All right. I haven't even used the sequencer yet. I like this as well, right? The EQ in here having this scale function. You can go flat to. If let's take another one of these functions, assign it to the scale, make it pulsate in time with to change the overall like tone of the sound. Can we have it so it doesn't re-trigger? Play mode. There you go. So every cycle there is changing over the course of that cycle. Super nice little touch. Usually demos involve audio tracks or contact, never soft synths. What do you mean? Apple rules and make no apologies. Well, you know what, Cold? I don't know if you saw my Why I Left Apple video They fucked over a lot of stuff. However, still spent 10 grand with them on a new machine. This camera's an iPhone. It's just the way of the world. We've got the ARP on. That's nice. Super nice. Guessing big reverb in massive size. You know what? For a built-in reverb as well, that's really nice. Such a pure sounding synth. Yet excessive. Wait. But I've got my head around it for the most part. Apart from I've not even had a look at the sequencer. I wonder if there are any presets like with sequences in. Can we filter that out? Maybe type designer types. Sequence, that makes sense. Well, shit. Might as well just sequence your whole track in here. Like an old tracker. I love the fact it gives you the note rather than just the how many semitones up or down you go in. Like every other one does. I just like bump it up a semitone as well. Nice. If I slide there, there, and there. Okay. Oh, there's probability. Oh, okay. So probability it's going to 100% trigger if we take it to like 50, you'd think it would trigger every other cycle, right? In theory, it's like a coin flip. Yeah, cool. It's got a mega powerful sequencer as well. Jesus. Why was this off my radar for so long? And thank you, Tom, for sending it. Ooh. That's getting saved and used. How beautiful is that sound? Alright, maybe not if I press the wrong keys, but still. Definitely don't go with those drums, but what a beautiful sound. Organs? 80s horror chords? Ah. Anyone making deep house? There you go, you're done. But that was some 4/4 drums. Not to shit on house, but I reckon we could make a house banger in about 2 seconds. How about Faceplant? I did the videos for Faceplant when it launched, and I haven't used it since. It might even still be installed. Let's have a look. Though possibly not, because I'm on this machine. Faceplant's UVI, isn't it? No, I've got the workstation installed now. Is UVI? That Falcon. Remind me who Faceplant was even for in there. I truly can't remember who it was for, which is bad. But it was like 5, maybe 6 years ago. And we just need like, yeah, house music, house music. And we're good to go, I think. I'm gonna like super offend someone in here. That's life. Boom, we're done. House music, house music, house. Yeah, anyway, back to what I was doing, which was trying to learn this synth. Kilohertz, that's it, kilohertz. I'm guessing that it's not installed anymore. Let's have a look. Not there. So yeah, while super powerful, I've just found it was like a preset hunter. And if you wanted to actually build a sound, an idea in it, it just took forever. If that's your like scope, if you're like Richard Devine, sound builder extraordinaire, and that's what you do, Faceplant's friggin' incredible. But yeah, it just wasn't for me. This is way more up my street because I can get to something really, really quickly. But it's incredibly versatile at the same time. Which, by the way, is incredibly hard to do and make. Unlike house music. Alright, what else we got? Oh, that might be the most uninspiring sound I've found. That's a very good cathedral organ. How low can we go? Oh. Nice. Ah, Robert. Do you know what? the sass comes from. For like 5, 6 years, I was the head tech for a club called Honey Club, which was basically a house club at the end of the day, which meant for somewhere to 16 to 30 hours a week, I had to listen to which just killed me. And then when I started doing other places in Brighton, like Coalition and whatnot, I really started to hear something different. Yeah, where there was a hip hop event every Friday, and every other event was house. Just yeah, it wore me out for sure. The entire genre. Right around when Levels came out, so I had to hear that approximately 4 times a night as well. Yeah, yeah, it did. It was like the era of Avicii, Duck Sauce, um, yeah, all those tunes. Yeah, basically. It was called the Honey Club in Brighton. It was right on Brighton Beach. Massive venue. And I used to control the main room, which was 2,000 cap. Then the two back rooms, which would be like really dark house or sometimes some insane like white noise filter crew gurning out in there. And then the what we used to call the white room would be like D&B, dubstep, grime, that kind of thing. We'd have like grime MCs in there, and sometimes that was good. But I had to look after the like 2,500 people the majority of the time. As long as the other room was up and running and the lights didn't go out and nothing blew, I wasn't really in there. Yeah, it was a really really good job. I really enjoyed it, but I wouldn't want to work nights anymore. It also killed me on playing out and DJing myself because I just had enough of being in clubs, basically. Checked out the KJ kits, completely doable. Have some good kits for life. Yeah, man. KJ is awesome. If you don't know who he is, by the way, Pendulum, every single album after Hold Your Color is KJ. He was in a dubstep band as well, like Destroy, something like that. When he played like an insane digital kit using Ableton. I think he might have been on YouTube and like documented it at the time. It's well worth looking at how he built it up. Oh, that's so cool. Chinatown Mystery as well, and it's immediately like a Wu-Tang sample vibe. Yeah. That is just like a Wu-Tang intro, isn't it? I don't know if he still posts on his YouTube channel. It used to be like quite popular. When it was Destroyed, I think that was the band. When that was really going well, it used to upload a lot. I don't know if he still does now. I've not seen the video from him for ages. With that said, though, because I don't do Instagram or TikTok or any of the other stuff anymore, I don't see when new stuff comes out for the most part. So I'm going to keep coughing here. Hey, I'm not offended if you bail and go and check his channel out. It is no problem. That's made with just this harmonic engine. Look how good that is. I'm going to have to take the time to learn this separately because I don't understand how that works. And the effects off, what do we have? It works without the effects. What? Dude, what a sound that is. I need to understand how that engine works. I have to understand. I have to go and read a manual. Oh, reading a manual. That's super interesting. Okay. Right, okay. But that's changeable. Phase modulation. Oh my god. Don't tell me that can be automated. Can. Dude. Way more powerful than Serum. What the fuck? That's insanely good fun. Yo territory. So let's sync that. If we do that like 1/4. We're going to go up one and back down one and save Chinatown Mystery. So that's too fun to play with. Right. Got so distracted I didn't even realise I'd lost chat. Check stuff out after the stream. Sea Soldier tutorials. Yeah, I will read the manual and then I'm going to have to look at some stuff. But I do not understand how that engine works. Obviously, I just figured something out and how to get a sound out of it. But if you've got a sound idea in your head and you want to get somewhere, you've got to figure out how it works. Otherwise, you do just end up noodling around like I am right now. But what's the purpose of coming on stream, really? Just to noodle about with this thing and test it out. Yeah, what's going on here? Well, we've got multiple sounds running over different bits of this one sample here. That's what I was saying you can do in Alchemy and get it to work a little like a wavetable synth. If you just put the sample in with the different wavetables in. What? This thing's bonkers. That's just wild. Okay. I thought I was in like organs. I am in synth organs. These are definitely not synth organ sounds in some cases. That's a dirty sample, that's nice. Did you see the pendulate comment? No, I didn't. Hang on. AJ kit is completely doable. Stuff after stream. Kilohertz made a wavetable distortion plugin. No, I didn't. But nothing needs to be this insanely advanced. I agree and disagree at the same time. So, yeah, let me open up something else real quick. Arturia. This guy here, right? There you go. Not advanced at all. To the point that press play and no sounds coming out because we've got that soloed. All the classic switches. However, my experience with this so far is, firstly, that took 40% of a CPU. Because it's emulating this synth. But I think Pigment sounds better. And I've also found that, like, the tiniest change, and you can end up with really thin pads. This is by far the best preset in this, though. However, actually dialing something in takes arguably longer than what we were just doing. So, new preset. I'm now presented with a saw. Pulse width doesn't do anything because I need to go and set each thing up for it to work. I can transpose, great. So if I put the second oscillator in, same octave, I can get them to phase cancel. Hard sync. For some reason, a vintage control. My assumption is this is drift. The old synths used to drift as they get warmed up. But like, just to dial everything in is all these little switches and routing things. It's not the way to do it in like a digital format. As great as it can sound, it's hassle. Whereas Pigments, as you've seen, I experienced it this morning and can do some crazy advanced things. Now, they've put an advanced patch in this, which is super intuitive and has all that kind of like systematics in it. Why do this? Why? I don't get it. Jean-Michel Gier is still using it as far as I'm aware. Pendulate, newfangled audio, free, and it's bonkers. What does it do? Let's try another. We just go through random things like that. Yeah, let's do that. That's interesting, but gross sounding. Ooh. Is it an effect or a soft synth, Rob? Whoa. Ah, hey, that's mine. Suppose we're in the days and I called it Dusty Boy. It makes sense. Grab a cop. I think you mean grab a copy. Synth noise genre. Synthy noise generator type thing. Okay, I got you. All right. I don't think I really use any of the newfangled audio stuff at all. I don't think I got anything on here actually. All right, blow my ears off. Yeah, it's an E piano, but I've definitely got a better E piano, so that's for sure. But we're like wild sound designs where this thing lives. Right, I'm just gonna reset. I want to try and figure out this harmonic thing. Yeah, I've seen a few of their things over time, and it's just never been something that I've picked up. There's so many like options out there nowadays. When I started, like it used to be waves. That was pretty much it. And then the guys that are Pro Tools Air started doing stuff, and then it started growing and growing. Just exponentially got out of control. Okay, so that just gives you immediate disgusting. If we take that ratio, give it an envelope, drop it down. Other way. All right, and then we could use an LFO to wobble the sustain. Does that work? Us? That's just kind of, you know. Almost trying to be a physical modeling synth. This? No, not really. It's not trying to recreate real world sounds. It has a sampler in it, so there's no need for it to do that. This is definitely not physical modeling. Like a physical modeling synth is something like in Sculptor. Here's a physical modeling synth where we've actually got like material selection in the middle between like wood, gloss, steel, whatnot. Actually trying to emulate like real world sounds but with a synth. Which it does a good job at, to be fair. Yeah, it's not so much doing that, where your oscillators are specifically emulating things found in the world. But it is doing a lot of different things, and it has that capability because it can sample. But yeah, I wouldn't be able to make something like this in a physical modeling synth. Not that anyone should ever make whatever this is. Mostly curious because we can go phase mod or frequency mod, but we seem to get the same result. Right, marginally different. Okay. Don't know what this window size thing is. Shape. Hang on, so that morphs between the two shapes. Surely we've got to have like them implemented in some way, right? So my thinking is it would represent the shape down here. Oh, I see. I gotcha. Depth. I see. Okie doke. Offset. Yeah, that is just limitless possibility. Definitely sound designer dream for sure. Why is it always go to D? Because it's coming from default. A Eurodance 3000 took me there. That's another prime candidate for our house music, isn't it? Absolute prime candidate. Oh, did I delete the drums for house? Oh, bad times. House music generator, the synth. Time are we on? Oh, wow. Been doing this for an hour and a half. Well, thank you for all here who've stayed for this. Resonators, yeah. There was only about 3 synths available in Reason back when I was still using it. You did mostly everything was Was it NNXT, the sampler? That was most of what it is. I'm going to play until about 11:30. So, Tom, Rob, Cold, anyone else who is still here, if there's anything you wanted to see or go over, or any projects you wanted to look at, give us a shout now. And we can do that. Definitely got my head around this. And how it works, because it's very intuitive, which is good to see. That sounds like a massive bass. Revolving bell. Some movie soundtrack stuff there. Just as it unveils like the alien egg. Beautiful pad sound. I'll roll with that. Yeah, there's lots of really good ambient sounds. One thing I will say, a lot of the presets are leaning heavily into having a reverb on them. Take the reverb off. Sounds a bit like the old piano from 8 Mile. I forget the name of the track. Eminem's 8 Mile track. Is it Lose Yourself? Yeah, a lot of them are leaning heavily into having that really nice reverb on it. So not having a background in electronic music and synths is a lot to grasp. Yes, 100%. But I have spent a disgusting amount of time doing it. If I pick up a guitar, I can't play a chord. It's the same story. You can pick up a guitar and you can play it. You know, I can't do that. It's what you've spent the time with, and I've spent a lot of time programming, playing about with synths, and compressing stuff to make it sound loud. Again, loads of reverb and delay. Industrial, get out, dirty bass sounds. Well, let's go into the bass bit. And because they always cheat and name like their favorite ones, like 2 Sharp 303, so they sharp right at the front. Skip down a bit. Okay. Not disappointing. Maybe we wouldn't put that in bass, but still. Why is it everything works with this stupid house rhythm thing I made? Oh. It is. I think it's just that it's the most like generic pattern that every house tune seemed to have with off-key piano. Like 26 to 28 BPM was all there ever was. Ugh. That's interesting, right? Really want to have a play around with that harmonic engine some more. There's a lot of potential with that. Especially as I thought wavetables were the only thing. Hey, speaking of that, Brighton bass. That's literally where this sound's based from. Where I was talking about. How funny. It's the big bad wolf. There's some interesting bass sounds in here. But for sure, they've really focused on like the big like ambient pads and stuff. That's sick. Whereas Serum's kind of known as a bass machine, right? That's why I have a how to build bass with Serum course. I feel like that's in a really recent tune. Like. Anyway. Oh no. There it is. Or even in all your classic synths, everything's heavily modulated. It's just you don't have a visual to show you what's going on. Everything's linked to an envelope, LFOs, and various other modulators like velocity and aftertouch control. How the sound evolves in those big things. Just now you've got a nice visual control of each element and what's going on with it. That's just a really nice sound. Nice, right under the bottom kind of bass. Yeah, like even the leave it up. No, I did. Even this, right? They're all heavily modulated. In fact, when you open advanced and you start getting the feedback of what's actually going on, got all this random modulation layers and stuff going on, a huge amount. But now you've got a visualization to actually show you it's happening. There's something else I noticed about this. While it's supposed to be this vintage emulation, they lean super heavy on like modern effects, like delay. And I get it, like it's got to sound great out the box. You know, otherwise why buy it? Look, modulated, modulated, modulated. Just go to like basic bass tones. Okay. Envelope modulation. I don't think that's linked to anything. It doesn't look like random is either, but there's still modulation of some description going on this basic sound. That's nice. Like a little bit of detune. Do it with saws. What do we get? Anyway, digressing massively away from our thumbnail yet again. I would like a bypass modulation switch to create less modulation. Yeah, you know, you could initialize anything or turn modulation off. Sure, we'll be able to do that in here. Okay, let's find something that's a little more. Oh. So, could we go into the function? Can we turn the functions off? I get what you're saying. You like a singular button. But if you're building from scratch, doable. Turn the effects off with a single button. And now the only thing that's got an effect is that VCA. And then this function, of which we could, how did we do it before? We clicked on the sign. And then there you go, look, we can just turn them off there. Now we don't really have a sound anymore. Now if you guys can hear that, it's just an incredibly low sine wave. I've got to wait up here. Modulation is what builds the sounds at the end of the day. Brings life into electronic music. I do prefer this straight away. Back on this, I just prefer what comes out of this. Right, did I have any projects that we were going to look at in the few minutes I've got left? I don't think so. How to quickly master a song in Logic Pro. That video comes out soon. Let's open that before we go. Let's can have a quick look at that. Sure, save. Why not? Hey. What I'm going to do is roll out on this. If you got any questions though, I recorded this video the other day for people who want to do like a quick master, and you know, you've put a track together, you're playing a set, or you've got a friend who's playing a set. The example I did, I showed a message from BC where I sent him a tune. And then you can just roll through with a really quick, dirty mastering process that gets you loud enough and gets you to the point that you can test the tune where you maybe only going to drop those first few bars anyway. and I just put that together. So I'll just fade me out for 2 ticks. And just play this through the first drop. If you got any questions, we'll go over it. Otherwise, I will wrap up at past. Yes, 100% of the principles of mastering across DAW. The difference being in FL Studio, things are so different workflow wise. Presuming you bought the version that has Maximus, check out my Maximus video. Understanding that multi-band compressor is paramount mastering wise. Do it, man. Just put the titles, because if you drop a link, it will filter them out. But if you put the titles, I'll be able to find it. And if you remind me about Pendulate, I'll go and have a look at that for sure. I could go over and do a video of mastering in FL Studio. The issue being, not everyone has all the FL Studio plugins because there's different versions without the plugins. My opinion is Maximus is pretty essential. Although the default limiter isn't bad. Mastering the track shouldn't be anything more necessarily changing sounds. In this instance here, the point is this kind of music would get dropped out to whoever I end up sending it to get played out in a club. And if someone drops a track that is 14 decibels quieter after something that's absolutely crushed, it's not going to work. Need to get that balance and loudness, and that's what the point of this was achieving. Also showing over techniques like using this to get an idea of an EQ curve of a song you know already works. So you want the preservation of the track to be about the same but a lot louder. Let me see if I can prove my point. So we'll go over the chain, although I've done an entire video on this, which comes out like next week or the week after. So the first thing, right, this EQ here. All we're doing, zoom that in so you got the whole screen now, it's taking out below like 32 hertz, yeah, 32. Because there's nothing down there apart from a rumble that comes in a couple of points and adds nothing to the music. So it's an issue. Play it out in a club, big rumble, taking up headroom, can't get the loudness. We fix that issue. That's it. So that's what step 1 does. Step 2 is real light compression. Where are you, compressor? And it's literally, if you look at the waveform here, it's like shaving off these extreme peaks. That's all it's doing, and curving it down a bit more. There is no audible change you can really perceive unless you really focus on the transients. I can't imagine over a stream you guys are going to hear the difference. Probably didn't notice that at all because you're listening back at 160 kbps, right? Not at all, but it's given me 2 dB of headroom to work with at no audible change, really. I can get it in my headphones, couldn't really tell on my speakers. That was what important. So I needed that little bit of headroom to bump it up without compromising the music. Then, tiny bit of noise shaping happening here. Just pops a bit of brightness back in the track. That's a big difference. Really subtle, but it's over the whole track. Pops that 1K, 2K range up, gives some air to it. That's a massive change, but it's a grand total of 1.7 dB and 2 dB. Tiny amounts really, because they're in the right spot, doing the right thing. Massive change. That's actually it for my master until the limiter, which adds all the loudness. If we drop that out, we're going to drop back 8 dB. But the mix wise translates as it should. The other thing that's on here is match EQ. If you watch the video, you'll understand why the match EQ is on there, but it's to help someone who can't get to this stage as a tool for them to use. Gesturing towards the camera, remembering that I turned it off a minute ago. And also the track I use isn't even finished, but it's what it is. Where am I? There. One second, let me catch up with your comments. Oh, yeah, I will look at doing it in FL. I seldom use FL now. I find it a really great sound design tool, but not a good project writing tool for me. Oh, you're welcome, dude. Happy Friday to you too. Sample is made a really cool clipper. Yeah, my channel used to get loads of views from FL. I just don't use it much, and I genuinely try and just put on here what I'm doing and what I use. I don't like making content for the sake of views and content, believe it or not. Sounds like something is being squashed or heavily compressed. Well, I just showed you it's being done by 2 dB on a compressor which has no gain, which isn't even really audible, but the overall level has to come up into a limiter for this genre. It has to. You can't play something out at a club at like minus 14 dB. It can't happen, unfortunately. I would much rather a nice dynamic track that sounds like this. On the compressor, I could then bring that up 2 dB relatively comfortably. I would much rather this. But we have to do this. That's the reality of having to play it out and it get loud enough. Momentary luffs over here are even a little bit quiet now. It's like adjustment of the track, what they should be. I think in here hidden, yeah, here's like an actual release. Solo that out. Get anything like the loudness of this. If you're doing acoustic singer-songwriter stuff, you don't have to play this game. If you're in electronic music, the loudness war won and loud was the winner. And it's all these moments, they don't need to be touched, they're still lifted up. You can see how hard that's had to hit the limiter.
I don't even know if I still like me. Maybe I'm having a thought. I don't even know if I still like you. I don't even know.
Loudness wise, it's actually a bit quiet. GQ, a little bit to that. anyways, on that note, I've had fun learning pigments and figuring it out for the first time. Thank you very much to all of you who joined, left comments, had a chat with us. Super appreciated to have you all here. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Hopefully I'll get live again next week. It all depends on how much work I've got on. I wrapped everything up yesterday, so I thought I'll just come on, have an experiment. This is what I would be doing anyway. Why not stream it, share it with you guys? So thank you very much for watching. I look forward to seeing you guys again in the future, and take care. Please do throw those comments down below because I will have a look at those things as well. See you in a bit.